Okay. From now on, you can't say any of that stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Hey. Okay, we're live.
Yes.
Finally. 5:17 p.m. Pacific, 8:17 p.m. Eastern. Friday night. July. What? July 15, 2016. This is Johnny Bean. We got everybody in here. I'll just introduce you guys by first name, then you guys can say hi. We got Chris. We got Chris Hubbard.
Hi.
Yeah.
We got Anthony Sajazi.
Hi guys. This is my son. Say hi. Who's your favorite band? Did I put you on the spot? No good? All right, forget it. We'll talk later.
We all know it's you two.
Tell the guys. Ah. All right.
Oh.
Nickelback.
Oh, whoops.
Nickelback.
Hey, Dave Lucy, yo.
Hey guys.
Hey, Dave.
Who's the other bald guy in here? Nesdal.
Hey.
Nesdal.
What's going on?
I couldn't tell. You and Anthony look almost identical tonight.
Yeah, I know. We've been
Very close.
We've been told that we look like brothers, except he's got less gray hair than I do.
Yeah. Less hair generally. In general, less hair.
Oh, look at those. Cool. Awesome. I've used those. Eric Broadbent. Yo, Eric.
Hey guys. How's it going, everyone?
Hey, Eric.
Eric.
And, oh wow, we got 18 people already. And Rob Johnson.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So
Yeah.
I think this was going to be like a new Rob, what do you call it? New Rob guitar day or?
New Rob. Is it Rob?
I was going to call it New Guitar Johnson, but I didn't know if that sounded right.
That can be taken a few different ways. To me, it does.
Well, it's not New Johnson Day.
Dave likes that. But.
Yes. Yes. So anyway, I don't know. You guys can talk about whatever you want, but I guess Rob, I guess you wanted to show something off.
Rob's on the spotlight now.
Hubs, set me up first. Hubs, you go first. Set me up, and I'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Johnson.
Oh, come on. All right. Okay, well, you guys know what's going on. So I got a package in the mail today, and not only did the package come in the mail today, but I'm on vacation now for a week, so I'm really excited because not only am I on vacation, but I get to mess around with this new toy of mine and just sit around and like work out all week and go to the beach and play my guitars. So anyways, you guys know the deal. I got the USA Ivory Wolfgang, brand new, back about a month and a half ago. And the story with the cat knocking the destroyer down and putting a dent in the top and dent in the paint, whatever. So I sent the body out to Chris, and he worked his magic on it and sent me pictures during the whole process, and it was really amazing watching how he did it and kind of what his style was, which I might add is basically exactly what I think they do when Chip made these guitars from the factory, except it was a cream guitar first, then black, versus black and then cream. But as far as the process of the checking and everything else, it's just absolutely phenomenal. When it was in process, I actually relicked the headstock myself, the checking of the headstock to kind of make it match the body. Kind of went back and forth, and a few people on the links told me that, gave me their advice, and ultimately I decided to go ahead and do it. And Chris sent me a text back a few days ago and said it was in the mail, it was on its way back to me, and he put a kill switch in it for me and basically did all the relicking, and it came in the mail today. So to my surprise, when I got home, I had this body sitting here, and you guys can check out up-close pictures on VH Links in the guitar section under the thread that I started a couple of weeks ago, 2015 Tour Relic, and you'll see kind of how it all unfolds. But basically, here she is, and it came out absolutely phenomenal. I'll send you a couple close-ups. It's kind of hard to see, but you can probably tell the checking. It's just absolutely incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. He even got the gaffer's tape on the pickup for me and put the correct rubber band on the pickup and folded it over when he wrapped it around twice. There's the kill switch, which absolutely works phenomenal, as I wouldn't expect it to any otherwise. I'll show you kind of a baseline of it. It just looks absolutely incredible what he did.
It's amazing. That wasn't black underneath. The black is on top.
Black is on top, and I'll let Chris explain it in a minute whenever he's ready. But basically, he just pulled the paint off, checked it, and then basically all the spots that needed black, he put the black on. Here's the headstock, and I did this myself, which was very, very simple. You can tell how I checked that. With X-Acto, came out pretty decent, I guess.
On your next string change, just dirty that headstock up a little bit, but it looks
great.
I
got to dirty the headstock and the back of the neck, and also the cavity a little bit. There's the back of the guitar. I got the plate mounted today. That is the exact plate.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, he nailed everything. He just did a phenomenal job on this thing. Absolutely incredible. And, and the interesting thing is when it came in today, is my camera working, or did it go kind of haywire here?
You're
frozen.
You're gone.
Huh.
It's nighttime where you are.
Yeah, I see my avatar now. I don't know what happened.
What happened?
I don't know.
I'll read some comments real quick. 802 Blues says, "Hey guys."
Hold on, Johnny. I'm gonna bow out and I'll come back in. Something happened to my camera. Hold on.
All right, show's over, everybody. See you guys next week. That was it.
And now there's room on the bottom of the screen.
What else you guys got? Johnny Calhoun. How come you two bald guys look the same?
They are the same.
That's
You know,
what I said, too.
It's
Something in the water.
I'm your Huckleberry. Hey, Johnny, is the West Coast 3 hours, 15 minutes behind us, or 3 hours? I'm confused.
Behind.
Yes. 3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours. We're on right now.
We were late.
I think you're looking.
Can you see me?
Yep. You're good
Yeah,
now.
there you are.
So I mean, it came out phenomenal. I mean, the back he nailed every little detail, and the checking is just great. So, yeah, I mean, it's really amazing. I'm so happy with it. When I opened it out of the box and I put the neck back on, I mean, I had the neck back on, the Floyd on, had it strung up and tuned and intonated in probably under 20 minutes. The action is perfect. The interesting thing is, when I took the neck off to send the body to Chris, there was 2 actual metal shims underneath the neck pocket, which I was kind of surprised on a $3,000 guitar. I thought there would be metal shims, but hey, whatever. So I put the shims back exactly where they were. The action is super, super low, and yeah, I mean it's. Sounds great, plays great, feels great. The action, like I said, is just phenomenal. This guitar is probably the best playing guitar I have. It feels phenomenal, and now it looks probably exactly like a one-of-a-kind guitar. So Hobbs, you nailed it, bud. I'm telling you. I mean, I can't say enough about this thing. So you got the floor now. Go ahead. Tell me what the process was like.
I'm glad you like it, man. As we all know, the concept Eddie had, it was a gloss black USA that was, repainted ivory. And on that guitar, there's obviously no black underneath. That's probably the hardest part is after I chip the white paint off, I have to tape off every little. I spend a half an hour taping off a little 3-inch section, and then spend 2 minutes painting it. I mean, that's what takes the longest. And then if you go on YouTube, there's 3 interviews that Chip does, at Winter NAMM, and in one of them he says that on Eddie's he hand scribed all the checking so that it would look the same, because when you do it, the freezing technique, you never know which way it's going to check. Yeah. So the checking is done the same way. It just, I had to add the black underneath, but it was definitely a pain in the butt. Not fun project.
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it, man.
I take it you don't want to do another one?
Yeah, I would. Just give me a month. No, it's not a fun thing to do.
Well, I really appreciate it, Chris, and you know, like I said, you're a good friend. I really appreciate you spending your time. I mean, no matter what compensation anybody was ever to get or whatever, this is a project that is a painstaking process, and it's not something that's necessarily something you just sit down and do in a few hours. It takes an enormous amount of time. The attention to detail that goes into something like this, the way that he did it, I mean, you guys can see just the checking on the side of the body. I mean, every little piece is, you know, I mean, it's just phenomenal. The time that it must have taken him to do this and do it, you know, like this, it's nothing. It's not impossible. It's not necessarily hard to do. It's just it takes an incredible amount of patience. You know.
How long did it take?
Yeah. How long has it been, Rob? Like,
it's been about
3 weeks since you sent it to me.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
It's been like, yeah, you know, I've been like the one I did it in like total like 5 days when I got mine, but I had a couple days off, and I went nonstop on it. Like, I didn't even eat one day. I was just going. And yours, I did a couple hours here and there.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you know, if you worked on it nonstop, you know, it takes about a week to do.
Yeah.
But
well, the interesting thing I was noticing when I'm sure you guys, I mean, everybody on this call saw Ed live in 2015 last year. We all saw. And if any of you guys, like myself, had front row seats in the pictures, you saw this guitar. One of the interesting things about it is it still maintained the high gloss finish. If in the right light, you can still see the shine. You can see it right in this here. You can see it still shines. But then when you look real close, you see the checking on it, and that's the impressive part, and that's the part that's hard to nail on a guitar like this. And as far as taking the time to actually achieve that, and like I said, I mean, this is. I would actually take this guitar now, and it would actually take someone I think it would really take a keen set of eyes to actually take this guitar or Chris's and hold it up to the actual ones that Chip made and make the determination which is the real one. You could probably figure it out, but it would definitely take some time. It would take a few minutes of actually looking at them and inspecting them. That is how close this is. And the interesting thing about it is it's the exact same guitar, same hardware, same everything. And the relicing process that went into this is probably just as intensified as what went into the originals. No doubt. And if not more, because it actually had to be done backwards to a cream-colored white guitar to make it black versus a black guitar to make it white. So, you know, kudos to you, my friend. And as far as the back, you know, you guys can see the back cover plate. It's the same, exactly like Dave's, you know, like yours, Dave. Same thing. I just mount it on the top, and you're 100% right. Doesn't change anything. It's perfect. Can't even feel it. It's great.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Congrats.
Well, congratulations, brother. It's a beautiful guitar.
Beauty.
You know, use it in good health.
Yeah. And, you know, and I just want to say everything to all you guys on this call, Johnny, Dave, you know, Anthony, Dave, Lucy, Eric, you know, Chris, everybody on this call and everybody watching this call or this video, and everybody that's been paying attention to the links and on Facebook and all the different sites within Facebook that have been commenting and asking me about this guitar and everything. Thank you very much for all the support and all the advice. You guys were great. It's because of guys like you that I actually enjoy doing this stuff and being part of this. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd probably still have some of these guitars, but I wouldn't have all of them, and I certainly wouldn't have as much fun building them and playing them and just kind of being part of the whole process. And it's thanks to all you guys on this call and all you guys out there watching. You know, Eric, you did a post on your Facebook the other day, and you gave a shout out to a whole bunch of different people, names and everything. And, you know, I don't have a list of names, so I'm just going to kind of generically do it. But I'm just going to say thank you to everybody who supports all of these calls that Dave, Johnny, and I do, Eric, everybody else. You know, we're one big, huge family. You know, yeah, there's some times that some different people rub people the wrong way and things like that, and people have opinions, and that's fine. You know, it is what it is. But I think all in all, at the end of the day, we're all one big, huge family, and we all share a common interest, and that is we all love doing this stuff. So thank you, everybody. This was a great process. Thank you, Chris. And I'm happy to answer any questions on this guitar.
Merry Christmas.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, that's why I like doing these things, because unlike Facebook can get out of hand. You know, people can post whatever they want. It can go down. It can go south really quickly. These things are great, you know, because we keep them. What do you call it?
Moderated somewhat.
Yeah,
Structure.
we keep everything positive. You know, we don't talk about anything negative.
I just had a comment come in and basically said they like my shirt, but they don't really like the neckline. So, sorry.
I've got a question, if I can, on that guitar.
Yes.
And this is Chris or Rob, either one. Does the Floyd on that one? This has nothing to do with the relicing of it. Just a question on the Floyd. Does that have the fine tuner tension plate on that, or no? Did Eddie use that on his? I was wondering if I could see the trim at the back. Is it there or no?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, there's not on mine.
Chris, how about on yours? Did you take yours off of yours, or did you leave it on?
I didn't take it. Are you talking about the little spring?
Yeah, on all the strings except for the low E string.
So just the E string, you mean?
Yeah, on some of them they're actually snipping them. I was just curious to see if Eddie's was like that too, all the way across with no fine tuner tension plate.
Eric,
And
show
all
us where
actually, on mine, see on this one here, I do have it on this one. Can you see the tension plate back here? Like those little claws, the fingers? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think in Eddie's tour relic there he had the plate on there either. I was just curious.
No, I don't have one on my E string.
Yeah, I don't
But you
either.
have them on the rest?
Not on there.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
Same with all of mine, Eric. All of mine have it snipped on the E string.
Okay. Now on Ed's, I'm just curious. So I mean, I've got a million photos too, but I probably don't have all of the photos I could have. Where his, like on some of his guitars, obviously he took them off completely. Did he have it on his tour guitar? You know?
I don't know.
I know.
If there's...
You know what? I don't know. I never really paid attention. I do have. Hang on a second. Let me look because I have a. You know what? It wouldn't show.
I know he didn't have it on his Stealth, but there has not been a young guitar or a player magazine yet, to my knowledge, that has come out that has showed up close pictures of this guitar yet.
It's hard to see, right? The good photos, but never at the back end like that, like looking this way at it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes no difference. It's just.
No, it's a good.
That'd have to be a pretty close picture to see that. I haven't seen any close-up pictures.
Yeah, if anyone has anything like that, message one of us guys to show us.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Let me see if I have one. Hang on.
So, Rob, a couple months ago, you took a guitar almost exactly like this and painted it white and did the same thing. How would you compare the two? Other than obviously being a USA.
It does have it.
Difference.
Well, you know, Dave saw mine a few months ago when I was out at his place, and I'll be honest with you, mine was like yours. Mine was a Japanese special Stealth, and it was an absolutely phenomenal guitar. And the gentleman that actually owns it now, I think, really loves it. Because when I bought this guitar, I ended up getting rid of that one, just to kind of recuperate some of the financial burden on it. When I got the guitar, I'll show you a couple of pictures of it real quick in both versions. It was a great guitar. First thing I did when I got it is I put chrome hardware on it. I put a chrome EVH bridge on it and a chrome nut. And I did that to make it like Ed's, and I also had a kill switch installed, and I kept it that way for approximately a year. And then last summer, it was actually like September, I actually reliced it, and I used Navajo white paint, and it came out phenomenal. Now here was the guitar when I first got it done. You can tell here's the same guitar you have, David. It's got the kill switch on it, chrome hardware. It's a flat top body. It's just like Ed's, except it wasn't arch top. It was a special. And I kept, like I said, I kept it like that for a while. And then I did the 2012 Relic job, and I got all the black perfectly. I switched out the tuners to chrome, put the pearl heads on them. I put the block inlays on. Those are just stickers, but I'm telling you, they work great. They're Japanese inlay stickers. They did phenomenal. And like I said, I mean, the guitar came out great, but the one thing that I didn't really do on this guitar was I didn't do the checking on it, and it wasn't because it wasn't because I didn't want to. At the time, I really wasn't sure how it was done. There wasn't a lot of interviews at the time from Chip on the X-Acto knife stuff. So it's kind of interesting. When I went out to see Dave a few months ago, it was Dave's idea. Dave's like, hey, let's try an X-Acto. He actually scored it a couple of times, and it looked really cool, and it looked pretty effective. And I was going to continue on with the process, but you know, not so long thereafter, this guitar came up on Reverb, and I bought it, and then ended up doing the butcher job to this. So how would I compare the two to sum it up? I would compare them. It's not hard to do the relicing on these guitars. It's very simple. It's just that this guitar is a little bit more of a stretch to do because one, it's a mental thing because you're screwing up a $3,000 guitar, so you better know what you're doing, or money's no object. Chris and I are both just a little bit touched in the head. We're just a little crazy, so neither one of us really cared. And
that's rough, man.
I think it's that kind of haphazard attitude, but it's basically just I would definitely hold the other one, in line with this because it's an EVH guitar, but the playability of this guitar is definitely a little bit different. It just plays like butter, and being an arch top, this one definitely takes the cake as far as the Tour Relic is concerned. It just looks a little bit better.
Eric.
Yes.
Eric, just to answer your question real quick, this is Eddie's personal guitar. Johnny knows the photo. I guess you guys would all know the photo. Hang on, let me get it again. This photo here, and when you enlarge it to look under the Floyd, you can see under the high E string that there is a claw under there.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Good to know.
So he does have the claw.
Dave, look what I have.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Yes, you can see it as well. I know you have that photo that someone gave you.
What's her name? Somebody mailed me
that.
That's
an awesome photo.
Somebody actually made this and mailed it to me
on canvas
as a present. What was her name, Dave?
Angelica Vondros.
Yeah.
Angelica Vondros.
She sent this to me. Hey, Angelica, if you're watching this, thank you.
Here's another picture of Eddie's actual guitar, Eric, and you can tell right here it actually does have the claw.
Okay.
On the high. Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
No problem. No problem.
Yes. Yeah. Let's do some comments really quickly. What was that?
UFO.
Gosh.
Sound like some sort of force with a problem.
Somebody just retweeted this. Thank you very much. PRIS 46. Thank you. They're retweeting this video. Let's see. Vinny says, "Hey guys." Yo, Vinny.
Hey, Vinny.
What's going on, Vinny?
Manny, is it Itchy?
Yeah.
Says, "Woo, can't wait." On the I'm blurry. on the video I did before this, the commercial. There we go. Let's see. Alfred McCready says, I have a question. I read somewhere that Eddie Van Halen borrowed a lot of his technique from Angus Young. Is this true, and what do you guys think about it?
What technique? I mean, Eddie's.
Don't be dissing Angus Young, man. AC/DC rocks.
No, I'm not saying they don't, Dave. I'm saying that what technique would he possibly have taken from it?
Turning everything to 11, maybe.
Didn't.
Are you going to say what I'm going to say, Nesdal?
Go ahead, you do it.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't know what you're going to say, but I do know a couple things, but you go ahead. It's your show.
It's everybody's show, man. It's yours as much as mine.
Well, then, talk.
Hey, this is the Dave Lucy show, everybody.
Now you're putting me on the spot. It's like,
Anthony Sajazi's program.
Great.
Well, I mean, as long as we're all on here, it's all of our show. You know, we can all say whatever we want.
Yeah, correct.
All
right. So
I believe didn't Eddie write? Wasn't there a Van Halen song that was written after an AC/DC song? Is that what you were going to say?
No.
Wasn't there a song that
it
he
wasn't
stylized?
He was influenced by an AC/DC tune, and he wrote some other song.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I forget which one it was though.
I know.
I can think of two that.
Drop Dead Legs. He said he was going for a Back in Black vibe. It's the same tempo.
Yes.
And AFU is really based off of Riff Raff. That main riff.
Okay, cool.
Anybody? What about the finger tap or hammer-on solo that he uses on what is it? Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
That's right. When Angus Young does this thing up the neck, well, I don't know who did it first. Probably Angus because
I think that album came out in '77.
On Thunderstruck, you talking about?
Yeah.
No, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. I think came out in '77.
No, the first AC/DC record.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? Was it Dirty Deeds?
Yeah. It's the solo for Dirty Deeds, and there's clearly some finger tapping going on there of some form. But,
One thing that Eddie did mention, Anthony, is Eddie did say that, I mean, one of the old interviews, I remember Eddie saying that he picked something up from Billy Gibbons. I mean, back when Billy Gibbons used to do, you know.
Yeah.
Beer drinkers and Hellraisers. There's that.
Right, but I think if Eddie credits anybody for giving him the idea, and he did it as recently as the Smithsonian interview, it's Jimmy Page, because he saw Jimmy Page go like this with one finger, and then that's where Eddie said he got the idea to use, move it up and down the neck. But
Like a capo.
He didn't claim to invent
That's
it, but he definitely was the first one to stylize it.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely correct. And I believe that the first rocker that didn't invent it but came out with it was Dickie Betts, actually, back in like 1970. If you listen to Live at the Fillmore, one of his solos, he actually does that, and just one tap. It's one tap, but he does tapping in the early '70s.
That's actually true. Yeah, I never thought of that one.
I saw a video recently. It's been making the rounds on Facebook a couple of times. It's old TV, black and white TV footage from Italy of an Italian guitar player on an acoustic with a totally two-handed style. It's incredible, and he's amazing. But that's not rock. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. But
right.
It's neat to see it cross over, though.
There's no denying the genius behind Eddie and what he did with it and how he changed everything else, though. So. I don't get hung up on who invented tapping. Nobody does it better than Eddie does.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean,
who invented the automobile? Look how many we have now.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Rob.
I just got a text from a close friend of mine, and she says you have such an incredibly majestic beard. Really likes it.
Thank you. Thank you. It almost fell off today, but it's still here. No, really, thank you very much. Thank you.
Dave. Hey, Dave, easy on that stuff.
I tend to grow the beard a couple times a year For some reason, I grew it early this year. I usually grow the beard for like NAMM for winter time, right?
Last time
I thought it was hockey
right?
playoffs.
Yes. Yeah.
Chip Ellis and I like to meet up at NAMM with beards, you know.
Listen, and Eric, it's hockey playoffs A, not just hockey.
That's right.
Playoffs.
Panama.
Hockey playoffs, eh? Hortons.
Bry the sign guy says, I think it was Panama also. AC/DC influence?
Panama sounds like a dog eat dog, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just those basic 2 chords, yeah. Yeah.
802
See that?
Blues.
Yeah,
I mean,
see that.
Yeah, that's almost like the old MTV News intro. Remember that? Or the Weekend Rock?
Yeah.
There's actually, I have footage of Eddie actually playing
sure.
that. Eddie actually played it on the Music Man acoustically with Sammy when they did a Weekend Rock for the Carnal Knowledge album.
I really want to see that now.
I have it. I'll have to. It's on my computer. I'll find it. I'll put it up.
Yeah.
802 Blues says Down Payment Blues. Did I just already say that?
Yeah, that's Eddie's favorite AC/DC song, I think, right? It was in the Billboard interview last year.
What else? Wiggy 2212 says play some music. So Nesdal, play that guitar you're holding.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
What
I
gauge
actually
strings are
got
the-
a question about this guitar. Someone.
Do you want to talk about that guitar?
William Temporis just texted and wanted to know what this is. So.
Yeah, he posted something here too.
Yeah.
Full house. He
It's
said.
it's the beginning to the Venus Gerulaitis guitar, which is owned by Tommy at the Music Zoo in New York, and the body is from Chris Locke, and this is a Musicraft neck, and it's going to get painted this week and put together, and it'll be yet another one for the wall.
Hey, Dave, it's amazing because you have played that Venus Gerulaitis guitar.
I have photos of me with it. Yeah, I have photos of me holding it and playing it. Absolutely.
That's
the only one that
Thanks, William. Thanks for that
close to
comment.
the
That was
real one.
awesome.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said to be that close to the real one, to have you could go back and do side by side. You know, if you miss a shot of any kind, go back. You've never been able to reference a real Van Halen guitar like this.
You're right. That's true. Well, I'll have to be very careful because depending on what type of mood Tommy might be in, he doesn't really care that I'm making a replica of that guitar, but he once told me that he doesn't want to see replicas of that guitar because it's too special.
Oh.
Since then he was like, I don't really care. Just don't, if you're gonna make it, just make it yourself.
Yeah.
But which is what I would do anyway. But it's not gonna go any further than my ball or me playing it. But yeah, that's the guitar, and
Nice.
it's pretty lightweight. It's nice. Feels good. The neck's not gonna really need anything. Just a little bit of sanding here on the back of the neck, back of the headstock, just to reshape it a little bit. But other than that, it's dead on.
How about that neck that Unc made you?
That's going on the Hard Rock Cafe guitar, which both guitars will be done at the same time.
Nice.
We're gonna do both guitars.
Sweet.
Cool.
It'll probably be done in like 2 weeks. And what I'm doing is I'm taking all the hardware off of my 1983 red Kramer Pacer.
Oh.
Put on this guitar. Sans the pickup because it needs to have a zebra pickup. And I'll just cut a pick guard for it. There's no pick guard on that. So there probably will be a body, an 83 red body and an 83 red beak neck for sale in the near future.
Nice.
Yeah.
The beak neck is red?
See, everybody started
no,
drooling.
it's an 83 beak neck from the red guitar. And
I know
the
what
body
that. I know exactly what that is, man. I'm drooling already.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who's dreaming of sanding it down, taking the finish off, and slapping it on another striped guitar?
Well,
Uh-oh.
you know,
Dave and
yeah,
I do
I guess I could probably do that, but it would have to be painted purple first, and then have multicolored tape on it. Which
Now
I could also do, but I mean, I probably need the money to pay for something. Probably the white Wolfgang with the dot inlays that I got reminded is still on hold for me.
Come on, Dave. It's just money. You'll make more.
Yes.
If it's just money, then you buy it for me.
So if we're done with that topic and we're transferring over to something else, I got something that popped into my mind earlier.
Which brings me to another thing, Rob. Are we doing that deal or no?
I'm still debating. I'm still debating.
Yeah, sure. Now that you got the white relic, you don't really care anymore.
No, it's just that purple flame from Scott is just so beautiful. But I don't know. I'm debating. Okay. I didn't say no. I just
clock's running down.
Purple flame what?
Go ahead, Dave. You can tell.
Well, okay. Rob and I were thinking about. I was thinking about trading my Black USA Stealth guitar for Rob's PV Wolfgang archtop.
That's what I thought you were gonna say. I thought so. I got rid of mine and I miss it every day of my life. I got a nice standard here, but I miss that guitar. Bill Broadway has it now. I sold it for $1,000. I kick myself in the butt every day.
Well,
it was a beautiful flame too.
I just got this guitar back a couple of months ago, you know, and it came from a good friend of all of ours, you know, Scott Smith, and it's not nothing wrong with getting rid of one of these guitars. It's a signature guitar. Being that it's one of Scott's and that it's probably the best, you know, purple flame I've ever had on one of these guitars. It's definitely one of my favorites. I've shown this before, but I put a big brass block in the back and FU tone. This guitar it's got some incredible. Whoops. Careful, I don't want to drop my Relic guitar. I might get a scratch in it. It's incredible bird's eye on the neck.
I'll take Nez down the parking lot and fight him for that guitar.
Yeah, it's a cool guitar. I mean, the pros for both of us is, you know, he really wanted to have a USA Stealth, and the one I have is set up exactly the way Eddie's guitar was for the 2012 tour.
Yeah.
All the chrome hardware, the kill switch, you know, the little number 1 on the top of the headstock that no one really knows about. There's a lot of stuff that's cool about it, and you know.
And I played
Rob keeps on, you know, threatening to, if he gets rid of any of his guitars, it's going to be the purple one, which happens to be the one that I would want.
Yeah.
So one morning I woke up, I'm like, I'm going to call Rob and see if he wants, you know, I'm going to just throw this big fish out in the water and see if he bites.
It's a tough one too.
He bit pretty hard, but you know, there's a chance that he may let go. So the fish is not in the boat yet, and you haven't caught a fish until the fish is in the boat. The fish is not in the boat yet.
I played that guitar too of Dave's, and I've got to say the thing plays amazing. I mean, you know, I remember watching them live on that tour, wanting that guitar so bad, and then having to settle, you know, for all the other guitars, and then finally I got, because I didn't have, you know, the money at the time to purchase one, and then I got lucky. I was able to get the guitar that you know, David has, and I loved it. It was a great guitar. And then I got rid of that, and then, you know, saw Dave, and Dave's got the exact one that Eddie had. It's even got the matte black finish. It's got a different finish on it. It's a very, what was that, Dave? They only made that finish?
2011. Yeah, the only year. I don't know what the finish is called, but it's the same. It's the same finish that are on the early Glock 17s and 19s from Germany.
Yeah.
And those of you that don't know what Glock 17 or 19 is, they're handguns, and it's a finish that Glock used for
like a
just, I
sandpaper.
think one or 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was used only in 2011 on the stealth guitars, and that's what Eddie's main stealth is a 2011.
I wonder if there's any connection between
of all the stealth guitars, that's really the one that people want to collect.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any connection between Eddie being a bit of a gun fanatic and hobbyist and having the stealth finish on his guitar. I wonder if he got an idea one day just looking at his collection or going to a range one day and just like, what if I can get a guitar like that?
Never know.
I mean, never
It's a
heard
unique
where the
finish
stealth
for sure.
came from, but
It's
yeah.
definitely a unique finish.
Yeah. Very well could be. I mean, being a gun enthusiast myself and certified firearms instructor, and I own many Glocks myself. Well, not many, but 5. And
That's many.
in
5 more than I have.
Pigs and Rugers and Colts and the whole 9 yards. But yeah, I mean, it is a very similar. Glock uses a phosphate finish on their slides, and they use a the frames are actually made of what's called polymer, which is a really hard plastic. And Dave's 100% right. I mean, when you look at that year, 2011, it's got a very similar finish to it, like a matte type, kind of a roughage coating on it. It's really interesting. I never thought of that, Dave, until you mentioned the Glock resemblance.
Yep.
Rob, I got a quick question for you.
It's actually the truth. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, the question I was going to ask you, because you're the one that kind of inspired me to do the chrome upgrade on the standard back there. I think you can see it still back there. So
Yes.
I'm putting the chrome Floyd, and obviously you're going to do the pearloid tuners and stuff like that. But we got talking about the PVs. I was thinking about putting the chrome pickup rings on there, like I did on this PV as well. Do you think that would look good on the standard, on the purple standard? Do you see that there at all?
I do. Yeah. Honestly, remember, Eric, about a week and a half ago, I said, not because I don't like it looks amazing back. That's a beautiful guitar. But I said, throw a couple zebra pickups in that too, and it would look really neat. Now that
I thought about it, but I think I'm still going to stay black on that. Adam Reaver and I were talking about it too, and he said, no, stay black. And I think I'm going to stay black, but the chrome pickup ring might accent it.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Now that you mentioned the chrome pickup rings, if you kept those pups black like that with the chrome pickup ring, I think that would really complement the full black humbucker. I really do.
And I think so too. The only thing that kind of scares me, I was taking a good look at it yesterday, compared to the PV, the neck position pickup is a couple millimeters closer to the neck than it is on the PV. You'll have to compare on your guitars there too. I'm hoping the pickup ring will actually fit, because it's actually quite close on this, at least on the standard.
You might, yeah. I mean, it probably will make it, but you might be in a position where you might need to just let it come around that corner and come down, and then just snip that one spot where it would go over, right through here. And you probably wouldn't even be able to tell if you did it that way.
Yeah, I may do that. I think that'll really accent it. Yeah.
On these guitars, it looks like there's plenty of room, Eric.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure about the standard or the special, but on this, I mean, I would imagine they're all in the same spot. I'm
looking at yours right there. I'm looking at yours and looking at mine. I think I've got probably about a 1/16 of an inch less than what you have there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
On my special, it looks like you got plenty of room too, Eric.
Okay. Yeah, we might be good. Well, you know what I can always do? I can pull one off the PV here and try it first, see if it fits. And if not, then I'm not out anything. So, cool.
Yeah.
But I think that'll really dress it up. And the pearloid tuners will make it look sharp too.
Yeah, absolutely. Pearloid tuners, that's the bomb.
I know you guys have heard me say this a million times, but that, for an $800, retail $600 street price guitar plus the food tone stuff I put in it, I play that over my PRSs, my other EVH gear guitars. That thing is now my workhorse. I love it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful guitar. I love that finish.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay, cool. That's my question.
Do you guys all have breast block replacements in your Floyds?
Not me.
Not one.
Not on these guitars. I don't.
Nope.
On the American ones, I don't. Nope.
This one I do.
No, it doesn't need
As
it.
a
It really doesn't need it.
20-year-old college student, I don't got that just lying around for a brass block.
Dave, do you still have that green Charvel?
Yes.
Because you put the brass block in that guitar is alive. That's incredible, and it's also a completely floating bridge too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually put one in standard. And I also got one in my Ernie Ball and my EVH Music Man. Not because Eddie did not have one in his Music Man, but I put the big brass block in this one from Adam. And I'll tell you, this guitar was alive before. It even plays better now. I mean, I'm like Dave. I don't have them in my EVHs, but I did put it in my PV and my Music Man, and I don't regret it at all.
I was giving someone a
You could use
description
the
the
red
other.
one of those.
What's that, Eric?
I was giving someone a description the other day, so I didn't mean to step on any toes there. But I gave someone a description when I took the standard and went from the normal block to the brass block. It's almost like from 0 to 100 in difference in tone. And then when I swapped out that Floyd special, put on the German Floyd, it's like, okay, it went from awesome to like insane to like holy cow, like you just don't realize there's those jumps in tone, and like the volume was different acoustically right off the get-go, and then just when I put the German Floyd on there, the strings were more slinky, the volume was louder. It was just amazing.
Yeah, it makes a
it's a different metal. It's really amazing. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I do have a brass block on my Music Man as well, because I did change out the Godot Floyd for a real Floyd, a German Floyd, and it had a brass block on it already. So I put that in there, and I did lie. I do have a brass block in the Stealth guitar, because I did that a long time ago. But you know, I don't hear really that much of a difference in that guitar or this one, with the brass block in it, so that's why I'm not doing it for this one. And the same thing with the flame top one. They just sound fantastic without the brass block. And I think the brass block would be overkill. I think.
I agree with Dave on these guitars, and I'm holding the same exact guitar Dave has, exactly the same, in every way, shape, or form. This guitar just does not need anything. It really doesn't. I mean, the thing just plays incredible, and the tone is just amazing. One of those, like Dave said, I don't think you're going to enhance this guitar.
I agree. I think the only change I may make to this guitar, and just for because I think I'm gonna put the titanium saddle blocks in it, because they don't break.
Yeah.
And they don't get dented. After a while, these black ones that are in here, they get divots in them.
Yeah.
So I think I may put the titanium ones in, so that I never have to worry about it again. Not necessarily for a change in sound, but just so they don't break. Because when I tighten these screws in the back, I really tighten them. I don't just tighten them a little bit. I really hunker down. And I believe, I know that Eddie also believes in hunkering this. Every screw on these guitars they're over tight. He believes in that, and the reason I know that is because Tom Weber, his tech, absolutely told me that, and he says, Eddie doesn't want any type of screw on the guitar lightly tightened. It's got to be, in fact, over tightened, including the locking clamps on the Floyd. You would think that like normal, you lock them until they're tight.
Yeah.
He really hunkers down on them so that you get all the resonance on from everything. So everything is really tight.
If I can add to that too.
I believe in that myself.
Yeah, I agree with that too, and that's one thing where people that are going to have the Floyd Rose specials are going to run into some trouble. My buddy Charlie there, he's got one of the standards over there in England, and he did 3 string changes and stripped about 3 of his saddles, just because that soft alloy, right? So that's another thing too with those specials. You got to be really careful with that. If you want to lock those down, you're going to strip the nuts for sure at the top, the locking nuts, and you're going to really strip these back here too. But obviously you don't have to worry about that with the American product at all.
The only screws that I don't like tight on guitars, like over tight, are the screws that put the heads in, because you tighten those up, you can't even turn the tuners at all.
No, I agree with that.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I don't over tighten those. And they'll crack the perloid ends.
They even tell you to put them on just snug, and then they kind of tighten themselves. They snug themselves in.
Yeah.
But like you guys were saying, though, I mean, that whole thing about every single screw on the guitar, as far as the Floyd and the saddles and every little thing, that's always been Eddie's motto. Have everything, tight
Connected.
11 to keep everything connected, like you guys said.
That's why it doesn't use springs in the pickup cavities.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Very, very
So on a
cool.
completely different note, I had this thought earlier today that since I'm getting rid of the Music Man EVH that I had for a while, to get like a second stage-ready guitar that I could perform with and take with me as like a backup to myself, which is how I ended up with that Cherry Wolfgang. The Stealth, it's absolutely great for all that classic Dave stuff, but I love the Maple Top for the lighter Haggard era stuff, and I love the Cherry Wolfgang for that. But I was thinking maybe I should find somebody to swap the EVH pickups for a set of Axis pickups, and I don't mean like the Tone Zone and the Air Norn, because they're not exactly the same things. They're just slightly different, but like,
Well,
I'm sure somebody out there would be willing to do that. And what do you guys
Dave,
thought
the
on that?
Axis pickups are not the same pickups. Axis pickups are not the same pickups as the ones that are in the early Eddie Van Halen guitars. You're
Okay.
better off getting a Tone Zone and a Air Norton, and you'll have the exact pickup. They just have names to them now. But the pickups that are in the Axis guitars are not the same, and they won't sound the same either.
What are those?
So I should just
Axis?
They are, I believe they are DiMarzios. They're just different ones. They just changed them out. They're not the same.
Yep.
So I should just pick up a pair of Air Nord and Tone Zones then. I can do that.
Yeah. I think that'll work. And you can get them pretty inexpensively. DiMarzio pickups are not expensive to begin with. I think you could probably get a Tone Zone for about $70, and the same thing with Air Norton, about $70.
Yep.
And as far as pickups go, that's not very expensive.
No. And I'd probably put the Wolfgang pickups on the Relic Homebuilt Axis EVH type that I showed off a couple months ago.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to go get that, because I don't think most of you have seen it. I think it's pretty cool guitar. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Ooh.
Just put on your other. Oh, you can't hear me.
Yeah.
He was the guy with
Late,
those.
Johnny.
He was the guy with those
Do we have any
wireless
more?
headphones. Remember? Oh yeah, we got tons. He was the guy with those wireless ones. Remember?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Remember? He was the guy that was like he went downstairs. He was like, "Hey Johnny, I'm across the street now. I'm at 7-Eleven.
I'm getting a sub. Be back.
Johnny, you want to slurp me?
Hilarious. So funny.
Check out my guitar." Hey.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Let me read some comments real quickly here, or questions or whatever. Thank you everybody for watching this stuff. Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool.
That's neat. Let's get two. I didn't know we could do that. Order pizza.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Yeah. I want pepperoni. Pepper.
Yes. Hey, let me read some things real quick. Rasputin Slavinki wants to know who's the cardboard cutout in the background at Rob's house.
That is Eddie Van Halen from the Balance Tour.
I thought it was a cardboard cutout of you.
Oh, yeah.
That's in the living room.
Well, actually, there's a Stormtrooper and Darth Vader in my house, too, and there's also a Jean-Claude Van Damme cutout somewhere. When people come over to my house, they think I have all this company.
Yeah. Well, I used to have the PV cutout.
Yeah, I had that one.
The amp, the one where he was like
Yeah,
this,
it's leaning against it, whatever.
leaning
Yeah.
with the cowboy boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that in '92. I got that from a local music shop. They just gave it to me, right? And I used to put it in my window.
Yeah.
So
I worked at a PV dealer back then, and I took it from the store. They said, "Did we get something in that was for promotional material?" I was like, "No, I didn't see it."
I grew legs and walked away.
I'm crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, every time I wasn't home, I'd put it in my window, so it looked like somebody was home. All right.
Yeah, like Home Alone and make go like this in the shower.
Yes. Greg Grimm, yo. Greg says, "How's it, guys? How's it going? How's it going?"
Good. Going good.
Good.
I kind of did I read that one? Huh? Johnny Calhoun. Any of us watch anime? No.
No.
Do you guys watch anime?
No.
What's she playing? Kidding, of course.
Probably unless it's some sort of Van Halen anime. These guys would be all over that.
Sure, I'd watch it. Subtitles.
Probably.
802 Blues, Clapton, Billy Gibbons. I've also heard him talk about as influences.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie? Yeah, probably. Yeah.
For sure.
Greg Grimm. Okay. This is for Eric. Question for Eric: have you replaced the pots or knobs on your standard? I find the knobs to be sharp, and there's some scraping when rotated.
Yep. Good question. Very good question on that. That's been asked a few times. And I did a video with one of our mutual friends, Josh Smith, a while back. Josh has a standard as well, the Blue Burst. And when we were trying to pick these guitars apart, trying to find faults, the only thing we could find acoustically, not electrically, but acoustically, the volume pots on that guitar, they're scratchy. Now, people would think when I use that term, I mean acoustic, or I mean through the amplifier. No, it's just the way that it's like a scratchy sound when you're rolling them acoustically. I'm not an overall fan of the knobs either on those. And when I was talking earlier a few minutes ago, I'm not sure if you're watching then, but I talked about chroming out the guitar. I was possibly considering doing like chrome dome knobs, which I did on the PV standard a while back too, and I changed it back to regular. But yes, number one, yes, I think I will upgrade the pots. Very inexpensive. I'll solder them in myself, and I may change the knobs. I'm just not an overall fan of the knobs on the standard. So hopefully that answers your question, but maybe chrome it out a little bit too.
Eric, also when you're changing your pots and you solder them in,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this, because Bourne's the actual mechanism in the Bourne's pots, they're not like CTS. They're not as strong as CTS pots.
Okay.
So if your volume is not, if the wiper is not in the off position, if it's anywhere in the middle, you're going to burn it out in the middle. So you'll have volume, then it'll cut out, and you'll have volume again. So,
It's strange. So, I'm glad you said that. Thank you for saying that. Now, what are the pots in the? I've got the what you guys know right now. I've got a Japanese special back there that's in pieces because it needs a trem now. Because that exact same thing happened within a week or two of getting that guitar. I had a dead spot at the halfway mark. I'd roll up doing a volume swell, get to the 5 position, dead, and then like 5 point whatever. Then my volume's back again. So what pots were those?
They're probably Bourne's, they're probably early versions of them.
Okay.
And still, probably when they got soldered in, someone forgot to turn it to the off position.
Okay.
And it got burnt out in the middle, because either that, or if you have a soldering gun with a knob on it that for heat, so you can turn it up or turn the heat down.
Okay.
I would keep the heat at about 600 or less.
Okay.
600 degrees or less. If you go over 600, you're definitely going to burn the pot out unless you have the wiper on 0.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, EVH sent me another one for warranty right away, and the problems never came back. But that's really good to know, and I think other people will learn from this too.
Yeah.
And
Cool, thank you.
And the only reason I know is because, stupid here, I did it on a few pots and burned them out.
Yeah, doesn't take much.
So after doing it a couple of times, you're like, oh wait, maybe I should have the thing off.
And I'm so bad when it comes to soldering too. I mean, I can wire just about anything, but I have the shakes so bad when I used to modify people's PlayStations and things like that. And we're talking microsurgery, and I'd be in there going like this, like like I'm a paint shaker, and it's horrible. It's hit or miss when I solder, get it all over the place.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Here's one of my pots right here. I'm saving this for a cool guitar. The Bournes. Our friend Sean gave this to me.
Yeah.
He gave this to me at NAMM this year. And
rock and roll, Sean.
By the way, Sean
signature
Sillis,
pot.
he's the guy who actually put this guitar together.
Yeah.
It says so on my tag, on the tag for the. He
That's
put this
very
one
cool.
together and my flame top. This and my flame top, Sean put together.
That's very cool to have.
Yeah. When I was at the factory with Chip, we walked right to Sean's bench, and what was he working? I think he was working on one of those Guthrie Govan guitars at the time. I think, because I remember telling him. I had met him a couple years before at NAMM, but that was my first time actually, shaking his hand and like we knew who each other was. And I remember saying, "Oh yeah, a friend of mine just got one of those guitars, in New York." Because you had just gotten that guitar, right, at the time?
Yeah, I just got it from the Music Zoo, and I remember you saying Sean said, "Whoa, he must have gotten it from the Music Zoo."
Yeah, because the Music Zoo
weren't out yet.
I think the
weren't out yet.
The Music Zoo is the place that you guys get all that stuff first over there.
Yep. Yeah, they have an exclusive Music Zoo and Charvel and EVH. The three of them are pretty much connected at the hip. Eddie and Tommy at the Music Zoo and Eddie Van Halen are buds. They're friends. And from what I'm told, anything that comes out new from Eddie and EVH, the first question he asks his people at EVH and even Matt Brook is, "Hey, what do those Music Zoo guys think? What do you think they'll want it? You think you'll think the Music Zoo guys would want that, or what do you think Tommy would like that?" And
it's kind of a seal of approval.
Yeah. And if you've ever heard Tommy play, you got to hear him play guitar, man. If you YouTube the Vetus guitar, YouTube the Music Zoo Van Halen guitar, you can actually see Tommy playing that guitar live through an angle amp, and what a monster player. He plays while he talks about that guitar. He plays it. It's great.
Dave, that's kind of like you. Whenever you make a decision, you always ask me, "Rob, what do you think?"
Yeah. I always ask you. I always ask what you think, and then I do the exact opposite.
I'm like, "Do you think you could lend me $2,000? Do you think you could lend me $1,000?"
Yeah. I'll gladly pay you tomorrow for a cheap.
That's right. You guys have to watch in the very near future. I'm doing a hangout with Sean. We're talking about Sean, and what we're going to do instead of a normal hangout, we're going to talk some gear for a few minutes, but we're going to segue into us playing Grand Theft Auto. We'll probably kill a couple hookers and stuff. And Sean is a master at Grand Theft Auto. I watch him play. Like I play it a lot too, and he's got like a rank probably like 3 times what mine is. But we're gonna have some fun, and we'll be dressed up in our garb, and then we'll jump back into guitar gear. So it's gonna be fun.
That'll be a good time.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
I'm a lot richer in Grand Theft Auto than I am in real life, by the way.
Wow. Is Chris and Anthony still with us? Are you guys still with us? Because I hear some snoring.
I think Hubs fell asleep.
We got a pedal board and we got a guitar. See that?
Can you guys see me?
I'm tired out from doing my guitar, so
Yeah,
now
I
he's
hear you.
the next 10 years.
No sleep for
Can
2
you-
weeks.
Can you see me?
No, I can't
No.
see you at
You're
all.
off the screen on mine.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, your camera's off for me.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
No, I can't see you either,
No.
Johnny.
You might have to jump out like Rob did and come right back in. That might do it.
Hey, can you,
Rob,
See ya.
can you hear me?
What was that?
Johnny.
Hey,
Taco
Dave,
Bell drive-through.
hey, Dave, can you guys hear me?
Love you too, bud. Have a good night.
Did you guys hear anything?
No. Am I still here?
Yes, that'll be 1470. Please drive through.
So this is what I ran downstairs to get.
We've just.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
nice.
Sweet.
Nice
This
guitar.
has a good story behind it, kind of. I bought it about 3 years ago from the site byoguitar.com. It was a kit. I think it was like $184. I bought a Floyd Special because it was better than whatever came with it. And it's not a German Floyd, but I actually never goes out of tune. So very happy with that. Last year, not this current year, but the year before that, the summer of 15 and then the spring, I was in like a high school senior show, and like the week before I was like, I'm gonna paint this guitar. So I did this right up from the truck photo shoot that Eddie had in '91.
Yeah, it's the runaround guitar.
Yeah, the runaround
The
guitar.
runaround video
And
guitar.
this thing has been thrown around stages and slid all over and beat up. Not afraid to, get rough with it sometimes. But
Very cool.
for a couple
Is
of months,
that a quarter up in the? Is that a quarter up in the top right where your left hand is? What is that round thing?
Up here? Oh,
Yeah.
It's a button that says Extreme on it.
Oh, okay.
From the Extreme band. Yeah, I saw their show up in January. It was around when I was putting this guitar together. And I got a pack of little goodies, and I stuck that, and I got a pick that Nuno threw out. Got that stuck right there. So that always stays with me.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and then I just threw
Very
like,
nice.
the decals. They're not the right decals, but they still work. And then there's a
Space
star here and a star on the top up there.
Good job.
Cool,
Very
man.
good backup
Very
guitar,
cool.
and people go crazy for the stripes.
Oh, of course I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a question for everybody here. Just everybody, real quick question.
Yeah, Eric.
Do you guys find if you're playing a cheaper guitar, and when I say cheaper, it doesn't have to be like a $100 guitar, but compared to a $3,000 or $4,000 guitar, playing live, I mean, especially too, take a guitar that's a fraction of the of that cost. Do you find you play better on them than you do a really expensive one? I do in my case.
You know, on this 2015 Tour Relic, I mean, I won't even call it a relic. I mean, it is a relic. So the day I picked that guitar up, I mean, it's the most expensive guitar I think I own. And I'll tell you, it plays. It literally plays itself. I would say that particular guitar, yes. Some of the others, maybe not, but that absolutely.
I find in my experience over the years, especially live, like I remember one time getting a brand new, this is back in the PV days, a brand new PV, and that night, the singer swung his mic stand around and hit the body of the guitar and took a chunk, like I actually saw a piece of wood that looked like a doorstop fly out of my guitar. And I always find with playing like the Kramers back in the day or the Standard now today, it's an inexpensive guitar. I take away the price factor from the guitar, and I just think about the guitar. Now, I know a lot of us can take a $5,000 guitar and forget about the price factor too, but I just find when I can forget about price and worry about the quality of the instrument or how the instrument feels to me, I tend to play better. The intimidation goes away. It's just maybe it's just a thing of mine. I don't know, like a flaw of mine. I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't call it a flaw. And my answer to that question, Eric, is it's not necessarily the money value of the guitar. It's whether or not the guitar inspires me. So
yeah, there you go.
I have inexpensive guitars that really inspire me, and I have expensive guitars that I'm like, yeah, they're
not
cool,
so much,
but I'm not inspired by it.
Yeah.
And I end up not playing as well. But you know, the guitar I play all the time, which is this guitar. Since I've got this guitar, I really haven't played any other guitar for a long, extended time.
Mm-hmm.
This is generally the guitar I play when I play, and I feel like this guitar has been with me forever already.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good to know.
I think I play this the best, but again, it's more about how inspired you are about what you're playing.
I agree.
And it also has to do with the sound that's coming out of your amplifier.
Of course, that's very important too.
Some days this guitar doesn't sound as good as it does other days, and it's because your ears change. Because the sound doesn't change, your ears change.
And you could change too a little bit.
This guitar isn't even. Yeah.
You could change. You could have a funk day where your mojo just isn't there. Nothing has changed. Your pedals are the same.
How you play.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How
and
I
you just
grip
like
the guitar, how hard I attack, and
I'm
not
it's
even
all your mood.
consciously thinking about it. It's just like happening as I'm playing.
Yeah. That's usually what I do
with this guitar. I performed with the EVH and my Stealth, and this is probably like a $300 investment, so not much. And the Stealth $800 and the EVH $2,000. When I performed with this guitar, I was introduced as having built this guitar. So I was feeling like my playing, I didn't ask them to do that, but I just told them going into it, they asked me about it. And I felt like I was showing off the guitar that I made and had to be proud of this and show what this can do. When I was playing with the Stealth, I kind of felt like, and I was in this competition, I guess, with a few other guys. My Stealth, I wouldn't say better, but it was the most expensive guitar there. And I felt like that wasn't really... What am I trying to say here? It's like I felt like the guitar was playing for me, and the guitar was like a statement, and I wasn't trying it to be a statement. It's just like the guitar that I wanted to bring with and wanted to play with. I didn't want to be seen as the guy with this very nice guitar. This is playing, back it up. Yeah. It's like the guitar is the guitar. I'm the player, and I don't know. But that's what happened when I played with the Stealth. I kind of lost my mind there. But you guys get what I'm saying.
I got a quick question for Eric. Eric, obviously, you know, we've all seen your videos, and you know, you've been playing guitar for a long time. You're an absolutely phenomenal guitar player, and you have some incredible chops. Every time I watch one of your videos, I just, you know, I mean, I've been playing guitar for 20 years too, and yeah, I guess, you know, I guess I'm okay, but I'm nowhere near the caliber of guitar player that you are, and every time I watch one of your videos, I'm just like, wow, I wish I could play like that.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you ever have days where you play and you're just like, ugh, I'm just not feeling it. I feel like I'm playing like crap today or whatever.
Thank you for asking me that, and it's funny, and I'm really glad you asked me that because I hope this is some inspiration to some other young kids. Number one, you'll notice on my videos on my channel, I'm doing less and less guitar playing. I mean, there's a lot of guitar playing on there, but if you look at the content, there's less guitar playing and there's more talking. But there are more days, and I'm getting better at this. I'm going to give you an example. There's more days where I'm more mad at myself for my playing than I am happy with my playing. When I'm happy with my playing, nothing can touch me. Like as far as, you know, people are knocking, there's someone at the door, or the phone's ringing. Nothing will touch me when I'm having a good day. But I had an instance a while back where a good friend of mine had posted a video of him playing a Van Halen guitar solo, and it was on Facebook, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. It was Eruption. It was phenomenal because I've been chasing that solo, and I think I told Johnny this off camera one time, and maybe Dave too. And I commented on it, said, wow, phenomenal. And he was like, it's okay, meh, whatever. And I was like, no, dude, it's awesome. No, it wasn't. And I gave him, like, I was really being honest, wasn't tooting a horn. And he kept saying how horrible this was. And I finally said, well, if that's horrible, then I guess I better quit right now because it's light years better than me. And then I started looking at myself, because I'll comment a lot of times. I'll give myself a negative comment first. It gets the haters out of the way first. If I can beat the haters to the punch, then I take away some of their thunder. But I thought, you know what, that's not a positive role model for these other young kids for me to keep slagging on myself. I'm not saying I'm good by any means, but I have to at least say I'm happy where I am, because if I'm not happy where I am, some of these other kids that want to be, you know, coming up the ladder, like, it's not positive for them. So I guess in a long drawn-out answer, yes, there's many days where I'm unhappy, but I've always tried to find the positive, there's something positive in that. So maybe I can do a nice tapping run, or maybe I get a nice tone, maybe my rhythm sounds good, something like that. But yeah, there's a lot more bad days than good, but it makes you appreciate the good days when you have them.
Absolutely. What you said makes 100% sense, Eric. It's absolute truth. And not for nothing, we are our own worst critic.
Of course.
You know, people. I've seen my buddy Dennis, for instance. He is probably one of the best guitar players in New York. Really, one of the top-notch players. And you know, people will tell him all the time, "Oh my God, it's amazing what you just did," and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's all right," you know. And I'm like, I watch him play all the time, so I know when he's on his game and when he's slightly off his game. But even when he's slightly off his game, I want to quit. That's
depressing.
How good he is. He doesn't make mistakes.
No.
And the mistakes he makes is just because he may have wanted to hit another note, but he hit a note that made sense, but it wasn't the one he wanted to hit. You know, like his finger may have done something stupid, but it wasn't a bad note. It was just not the one he wanted to hit.
And if
I can give you an example too.
They copy them very well. They know how to. A good guitar player. I mean, you guys know this. You guys do it all the time. Dave, you know, Eric, Johnny. I'm sure everybody, you know, that plays guitar. I mean, you can tell the caliber of a player when they hit a bad note. They just know how to improvise and I wouldn't say hide it, but actually make it blend.
Well, they hide it by playing it 2 times. You play it more than once, and it's you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't make a face. Don't make a grimace when you're playing something wrong. You know what? Smile.
No,
Yeah.
the opposite of mistakes. The opposite of mistakes, and I know all of us, Rob, yourself included, and you're selling yourself short because you're phenomenal yourself too. And like you said, we all are our worst critics. But I think we've all had the moments too where, on the flip side of being a horrible moment that we think, we've had moments, and I can relate to myself where I'm either back in the days of just audio taping like a band performance or even a rehearsal, and I'll listen back to something and I'm like, I did that, and it's just a magic moment that you probably could never. It's actually, put it this way. It's like your car will drive 100 miles per hour, and that's max downhill with the wind behind you, and all of a sudden you had a magic moment on guitar and you're doing 150. You can't go that fast, and it was just something was special. Number one, you were inspired that night. Maybe you got a new pedal or a new guitar, or you had some extra friends over to watch the band practice, or you had extra beer. I don't know what it is. But something made that click, that intravenous kind of connection with the audience, whatever. So the positive can work that way for you too. I find.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've done lots of gigs like that where I'm thinking the same thing. Like, I can't believe I'm playing this well. You know,
You get goosebumps. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah,
This isn't
and
right.
it's like, and then the next day, you got a gig the next day, and you're like, where'd that guy go? Where'd that guy from yesterday go?
It's like watching a hockey
There was this
game.
one-off show that I
Watch a
did
hockey
a couple
game.
months ago.
Alan, where'd you come from?
Hey guys.
Let's go.
Alan,
Sorry, Dave. Hey.
Yo, Alan.
don't worry about it, Eric. I'll get back
What up,
to
man?
it.
No,
What's going on, Alan?
Hey, my wife's taking the baby to go shopping for some clothes for us. So I got a few minutes to be on, unusually on a Friday evening.
Right, well, keep your hello to one paragraph, all right?
I will. I don't have a guitar in my hands. I'm not speaking. I'm just going to be an observer.
Good to see you, buddy.
So funny.
I feel bad I cut Dave off there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
Dave.
no, that's all right. I'm
Yeah,
used
don't worry
to
about
Johnny
it.
cutting me off. Johnny cuts
No, I'm
me
talking
off
Dave
all the
Lucy
time.
there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You know what? You can't be called Dave anymore, Dave.
Dave L.
All right,
Dave
what
L.
am I going to
No.
be then?
It's cool.
The
We
only
got
one of us that's playing in an actual Van Halen tribute band.
What's that?
We can call him the only one of us that's actually playing in a Van Halen tribute band.
Who's that?
Dave.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I used to. Posted a couple
You haven't,
photos the other
there's
day.
nothing from us out there yet, but there will be soon, hopefully. We're
I
still-
used to be in 5150.
Yeah, I still got your tribute CD, Eric. I listen to that every once in a while.
I'm not on that one though.
Yeah. I liked it. I listen to it all the time.
It's a tribute to the other guitar player that took my place.
I
Gotta be the
remember.
most people that have ever been on a hangout at one time.
Yeah.
I can't
What?
even keep track of how many people here. So, Eric,
Yeah,
back to
that's
the question earlier.
like
I was
the most
doing
I can
this-
remember having on here.
Yeah. What was your question, Dave?
I was doing this one-off. It was actually a talent show that I was invited to perform at because I was egged on to do it. I was like, I got nothing prepared. I got exams all this week, and they're like, okay, come on, just go do this show. I'm like, fine. So I did this talent show, and I played through Spanish Fly, most of Eruption, and then a lot of the live extra tapping parts. And then my buddy was performing after me. I dragged him out on stage. I was playing the Growth at the finish of my solo at the end of Ensemble Rhyme. I played that, and then I ripped right into You Really Got Me, and he was singing for that, and we played that together. And after we did the show, like, I was just getting so much praise, and I felt like it was unwarranted. Like, all this attention was coming from everywhere. Joe, that was awesome. You got to teach me how to do that. Like, I wasn't even the best person there. I was like, and here's what I think it is, because I'm not going to put down the other guitar players that were there. Of course not. But maybe what I was doing was more technically complicated, and that's not because of my skill. That's just because of the music I chose to play. I wouldn't put it past them to be able to do that. Like, they shouldn't, just because they're choosing to play a Who song, which I'm not saying those are less complicated, but like, or a simple blues thing, doing that together, or Chili Peppers, there was a guys doing that. But just because it was more technical doesn't mean it's, I mean, it might be more impressive, but it doesn't make them a better player. Like, I felt like I was getting more attention, and I was taking it away from everybody else there, and it made me feel terrible.
I think what you did, and I have no idea, I'm just going to guess what you did there. you went into the situation, number one, having the inspiration of Eddie Van Halen, which is the blood that goes between all of us. Number two, you were confident enough that you knew the parts. You felt you could pull it off. You looked like you were supposed to be there. It's like the guy that gets into all the shows backstage. If he looks like he's supposed to be there, it's image, right? You had it all probably back in that day. And I played shows before too where people that could blow me away in a heartbeat, but I pulled something off magically because either I felt like I could do it or someone said I could do it. It's just a matter of it's believing in yourself. You had the gear, you had the right solos, you chose the right material. Whether you say the other stuff was wrong material or not, you chose the stuff that the magic tricks is what you chose. You chose the bag of tricks, and that's probably why you did it. You did well.
I agree.
And well deserved.
I think there's a video of that floating around somewhere. I'll have to try and find that.
Find it and keep it.
But,
You want that pass on to kids down the road, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, you guys, I got a split. My phone's dying faster than it's charging.
Who's saying that?
So.
That's Chris. Chris. He's got to relic another guitar.
Which guy just said that? He just got
Congratulations,
Nezgov's
Chris.
guitar in the mail, and he's working on that.
Hey, Chris.
The first time I've been on
That's
with
right. Oh, yeah. I already sent the body to this guitar. I don't have the body anymore.
Hey, Chris, before you leave, buddy, just want to say thank you again. You and I have been chatting a lot in the last few weeks through this process, and it was fun watching the pictures that you sent me and seeing the progress. And thank you very much for your time. You did a phenomenal job, and I couldn't be happier. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Chris.
Kudos, Chris.
I agree. Chris, you did a great job. That guitar looks beautiful.
After this call, let's get everybody listening to this video, everyone on the internet, to buy like a $25 or $50 body, and everyone just ship them to Chris's all at one time. 3 million.
That's right.
bodies.
I might have to have Chris do my kill switch. I'll have to see who's going to do that for me on my stealth. Alan, you here?
yeah.
So have you had a chance to check out Push Comes to Shove like I requested you?
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't know that was you. But yeah, that's on my radar.
Okay.
I was working on a couple other things.
What's stopping me from playing along to that is that it's a weird tuning. You're the one to
The
figure all
tuning.
that out. So you're gonna figure that out, and you'll help us with the rest.
15 cents. It's 15. Each string is 15 cents sharper than E flat.
Okay.
I consider.
Figure it out. It's Alan. Alan's the guy that can figure it out.
Hey, Alan. One thing I got to say about Alan.
I sent
Alan
him
is
a
so
message a couple
cool.
weeks ago. Like,
Alan to me is, and it's funny we have the name Alan too, and Alan is the guru when it comes to tunings. I have to give you that. He's the David Allen of the Floyds. Alan is the tuner. You're the strobe, whereas David Allen is the Floyd. You know, the engineer, right? Put you two together, and we're gonna have some dangerous content.
That's right.
Nice.
If we
man.
can ever get David Allen on one of these things.
We'll get the
I'll
PowerPoint out.
take that, man, there is no one that knows the Floyd better than him. I mean, I can't think of anyone that knows the history of the Floyd better.
Floyd and Adam, maybe those two guys.
Yeah, maybe Floyd and Adam, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm giving the edge to David Allen Wright, though.
For sure.
yeah.
We've had PowerPoint presentations.
Man.
Yeah,
think
push
that's one
comes
of
to
the
shove,
songs
man. It's
that-
on my radar. I promise I'll get to it. I started looking at a couple other things, like I was looking at little guitars because I started playing my
saw
daughter's mini Squire Strat, and like I've never learned that song properly before, and I realized that and I had posted this on VH Links, that I think now it's almost impossible for me to escape the fact that I really think little guitars did not have a chorus on it, but that it was actually the harmonizer, the Eventide harmonizer. So, well, anyway, that got me excited on working on little guitars. So, but Dave, I promise I will get to Push Comes to Shove. I promise.
Cool. Something like this.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh man, cool.
Yeah. I started
Nice.
stripping the paint off like the weekend before a show. Realized I wasn't going to be able to finish it before the show Tuesday. Then just put it back together and played it as is. And I did a little guitars for the senior show, the going away show for the high school students.
That's very cool, man.
That
Show
is.
that again, one more time.
Here, I'll go get mine. I'll get my daughter's.
So I guess I cut the pickguard up and I stuck a humbucker in it.
That is
That's
cool.
really all I did. And then, but it doesn't have a paint job. I mean, the red, and then it's just bare. I was going back and forth of what to paint it. I was originally going to do it black and white, but then I realized if I did that, I'd never get an actual Bumblebee. So I'm like, I want an actual black and white guitar. Not black and white, black and yellow, I mean. Yeah, so I'll figure out what to do with
Why don't you paint it yellow with black stripes?
Hey,
Paint it opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Kramer double neck, right? Yeah, I'll do that. That's a good idea.
With the aluminum headstock. That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear something really cool as a parent that I'm really proud of at the moment?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I get, and Rob, you have kids. This happened just earlier today, a few hours before the call. But we get in the car now, and religiously, little Eric says, "Can we listen to the Roth remasters? Can we listen to the Roth remasters?" I am just loving this as a parent. It's so totally surreal. It's so cool, you know. And then I introduced him to the Zero, like the demos tonight, and he wasn't exactly overly impressed with some of them, because you know he's used to hearing it a certain way, but he's discovering it now, and after he hears it a couple times, he's gonna dig it. But it's just so out of the out of body experience having your kid, 10-year-old, ask you to listen to remasters of Van Halen. It's just totally cool.
It is. It is. When Connor was a kid, he had this. He was always a Roth fan, but he was big into the album 5150, and the song 5150, which I really like. He was a huge fan of, and it is when your 10-year-old son, your 8-year-old daughter, or 12, whatever it is, they want to hear something that's so near and dear to you. It's definitely pretty. It makes you feel great. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. What you got there, Alan?
Hey.
We'll still have this out.
I can do this.
Are you playing Black and Black?
Did y'all hear any of that?
I'm looking for my lighter app on my phone just so I can put my lighter up.
You playing
That's
AC?
awesome.
Was that ACDC?
I know, right? Same chords. Yeah, that was the whole thing. I plugged in my H9, and there's a setting on it called Women in Love. That's supposed to sound like Women in Love, and it kind of does. And I turned the echo off, and man, it sounded exactly like the record for the chorusy sound on little guitar. So that got me excited about that song, and I started working on that one instead of working on Push Comes to Shove as Dave had requested. So.
That's cool.
That's an inspiration again that we find accidentally.
Yeah. Now, that song, it's a really tricky song. I don't know what about it. It's just, I think it's the only Van Halen song on bass that I struggle playing all the way through. And I'm not trying to put down bass players. I mean, with poor technique, playing all the way through.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
not
and there's
like
overdub
performance
parts
level
on
all the
it.
way through.
Yeah, there's overdub parts on it. There's the slide guitar on it, and well, the thing that I'm still learning, the little, the finger pick part, that I'm still working on that,
And he does a bit of a flamenco slap, right? Like a couple times, like that. I call it a flamenco slap. I'm not sure if that's the right term.
Well, it's the pick,
Yeah.
You see, he's just
Yeah.
just the
strum. When I performed that, I think I went through like 2 picks for I held one in my hand during the first finger picking part, and then when I had to get rid of the pick, I just kind of threw it and then grabbed another one when I needed it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to hold it in your finger and still try and finger pick. But,
Mm-hmm.
Is that our Ovation guitar, Alan?
Yeah, this was my main acoustic most of my life. I got this in 1986. It's an 86 Ultra electric acoustic, barn board finish.
Cool.
Is that a Bon Jovi signature?
I put a lot. Well, he has the 12-string, but John Bon Jovi has the 6-string, and yeah, no. Well, they were rich back then. They had the Adamases. So.
Yeah. I actually played one of John's actual acoustics. Desmond Child had one at his studio. It actually said JBJ on the 12th fret.
That's pretty cool.
I remember that.
I'm just screwing around. Sorry.
That guitar has some bottom end.
Is like
even on here.
Watching you.
Did you just write that?
It's a great song.
Dude,
Alan.
you're gonna get us flagged for playing that because every time you play, you sound just like the album.
Yeah.
You know?
They're gonna think we streamed
I
it.
think Alan's the closest I've ever heard anybody play this stuff where it sounds just like the record. Remember when you did the other one? The what was
Hear
the
about
video?
it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Amazing, man.
It sounds just so close. It's like listening to the album.
Well, thank you. It's only been like.
Yeah. Let us see your fingers.
You know, like I'm 40. Wait, I'm 44 now, and I've been working on this for about 30 years.
And I'm still older than you.
Yeah, but I mean.
I'm 42, and I've been working on it for 20 something.
I gotta say something. You know, we were talking about like, you know, like different players and how audiences can react to different kind of players, and you don't know why they're reacting that way, and I can only say that I wanted to mention that I saw a video of David Nesdahl and one of his bands.
Who?
And the thing about David, and I hadn't really heard much of his playing, but David has learned the lesson that a lot of guitar players never learn, and that's to learn, listen to, and play to the underlying harmony structure of what the damn song is. And David is really good at playing along with the chords and following the song. So when he's playing a lead, I'm talking about when he's playing a lead. And
I try to play over the chords. I try to play over chords instead of more. I don't play like a jazz player, but I think the way a jazz player would play. Without sounding jazzy, a jazz player will play over the melody, or over the chords, over the changes. So I try to play over the changes, but do it in a blues style because that's how I play.
Right, and that's the thing.
Instead
That's
of
what
just
you're
playing the
supposed to do.
pentatonic up and down,
Yeah, so you're not trying to rip everybody's face off, and you're not doing licks that have no bearing on the chords. And that's the whole thing. It's so important to learn and listen to. I mean, there's other, Van Halen music really doesn't pertain to this because Van Halen music is Van Halen music, and it's just Eddie playing Van Halen music, and there's no correlation to other types of music in a lot of ways. But in terms of especially in blues, but in a lot of real music, if you're playing any kind of lead, you need to have you need to have one ear on the chords that are going on. And David is like, I know you know what you're doing because you are playing to the chords and you are making sense and you're phrasing, when a turnaround is coming, when the tonic chord is coming, when, and it's great. And that makes you a cut above everybody, damn near everybody else out there who's just, a Joe Schmo. I mean, I know why you make a living doing what you do because you've got that going on, and I love you for it. I really heard some great. I'd love to hear more. I like to hear your playing. I saw one. Like I said, I saw one video. I think of you guys playing Crossroads, and you just killed it. It sounded amazing. Great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize that. I don't play. Yes, when I'm doing these things and when I'm playing these guitars, I play Van Halen-esque lines. I do. I do my best imitation of of that stuff. But when I play with a band, I'm very much an ensemble player, and I do what I do. I don't do the Van Halen thing. I usually don't play guitar with a Floyd Rose on it. I usually play a Les Paul or a Stratocaster, and nowadays a Telecaster. But and I really listen to the rhythm section, and I enjoy being the rhythm section. I really love playing chords. I love being that guy that holds it down for the other lead player. Because if you can put someone else over,
playing behind Andy Alladort and Larry Mitchell and Steve Vai, for God's sakes, because everybody needs somebody like you in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I appreciate that you mentioned that and thank you for those props. I really appreciate that, because that means more to me than saying, "Hey man, great solo."
Yeah.
Because as we all know, music is more than a solo. You know, it's just it doesn't start with or end with the solo. It's a cool part of the song, but there are so many other parts of the song, and that's why I work. That's why I get hired, because people know that I'm not just gonna jerk off on playing single note solos all night. I'm gonna make the song sound like a song.
You know what analogy I like to use? And maybe you tell me if I'm out of line by saying this, but no one wants to have a Ferrari or a Lamborghini with the governor on the motor, like limiting you what you can do with that car. But sometimes you do need that governor, that throttle cap, to keep everything on the track. Because when you go off the track, let's say you're in a race, you're going to crash. You got other people crashing into you. It's a cascading an effect. Well, as a guitar player, I mean, that's one thing I like about Eddie too. I mean, Eddie can be like that Ferrari, but he knows when to throttle himself. And maybe even Eddie isn't the best example of that, but like Alan, like you said about Dave.
No, he is.
Yeah,
he absolutely is the best example of that. He absolutely is the best example of that, because his rhythm playing
is insane.
In my opinion, far passes his soloing. His rhythm playing is genius.
I struggle more with his rhythm
than some of his. He's Eddie Van Halen. He's Eddie Van Halen. His soloing is fantastic.
Yeah.
But what he does behind the soloing is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Little Guitars is a great example, and the song 5150, I mean, amazing rhythm.
Yep. And that applies to every musician, too.
I have a real hard time with that song, because it's all the tempo changes and all the...
And swing. I have sometimes the hardest times with the swing. Drummers, the same thing too. Just because you have 47 drums doesn't mean you have to hit every single one of them. That's why you see a drummer sometimes, and you automatically form your decision when you see somebody they got 3 drums, and you're like, well, this is gonna be fun. All of a sudden he's like, Buddy Rich, whatever, and it's like, whoa, where'd this come from? It's because he's focused. He has a task. He has a job. He's on a mission. Same thing with guitar. Anything.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Eric.
My drummer. He hasn't been able to get down Hot for Teacher yet, but he has the 2 parts separately. He can do the kick drum part on one kick drum, but he can't sync it up with his hands yet, but he's working on it.
Cool.
But I don't know why.
Well, that's hard to do with one kick drum. It's hard to do with one leg. How do you do that with one leg?
Yeah, the John Bonham thing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like, are you sure you don't need a second? He's like, don't worry about it. I got this. And he does it. He does it.
The thing about that song, and like if your drummer, it's a very difficult song. That part of Hot for Teacher comes from a song called Quadrant 4 by Billy Cobham on his Spectrum album. And if you listen to that, it has Jan Hammer on keyboards, the guy that did the Miami Vice theme.
Sure,
and that, and interestingly, if Billy Cobham is like one of the greatest drummers that's ever lived. I mean, like,
absolutely.
In a technical sense, he's one of the greatest ever. And that song, Quadrant 4, in that particular kind of boogie shuffle and double, it was recorded on double bass, and Alex plays it on double bass, and so does Billy Cobham. It's very difficult to pull off. But interesting thing, side note about that song, watch the Les Paul tribute special where Eddie.
Yeah, Jan was there too. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Cathedral.
Yeah, Jan plays with Eddie.
And they jam on Hot for Teacher. Well, they're really kind of jamming on Quadrant 4 because Jan Hammer played on that song, and Jan is playing keyboard licks that he played from Quadrant 4 over Eddie's Hot for Teacher.
Yeah. I forget, was that Tony Levin on bass? Was that Tony Levin on bass?
Yeah.
Yep, Tony Levin on bass.
And the song they were playing was like a Hot for Teacher inspired song.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a real groove, real swing groove. Yeah.
Well, actually, like I said, what they were really probably were playing was a hybrid of Hot for Teacher and Quadrant 4. So, I mean, because Jan Hammer was actually playing the parts from Quadrant 4 on that version of that song, which is kind of interesting. But I say that, and I wanted to say that to give your drummer some credit, because it's very difficult. The tribute band guys can't pull that off. I mean, honestly, I can say I've never heard a tribute band pull Hot for Teacher off correctly. So and
drummers in general.
Yeah, the guitars
in general. Just the hi-hat part alone is the hard part. The da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da on the hi-hat.
Yes.
That's impossible on its own, let alone
Micah,
the ride cymbal part is very difficult.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah, the
fast
ride
with
cymbal.
one hand.
Yeah.
My guy back in my day, he could do it. He was an amazing drummer, but I always had the hardest time coming in that song. I would just put myself like in a zone, and sometimes we'd take an extended intro. And even Eddie, you'll see him sometimes too. He'd get really close to Alex, especially when he's having monitor issues and stuff like that. He'd get really close. We could feel the beat, and then it's just okay, wait for it. I'd rather just wait and take a longer wait and then come into it. I had the hardest time coming in on that song.
You're absolutely right, Eric, and that's the part that the tribute band guys consistently fail at. They can never come in right, and I've never seen one come in right before. It's not easy.
Yes.
It's just not easy.
Well, I will say that
I'll try not to let you down.
In general, I think you're right, but I've seen Steve Brown from Trickster play it correctly with his tribute band.
He's good.
I've seen Derek Fuller. I've seen Derek Fuller do it as well. Yes.
I've never seen Derek do it yet, but
Derek's great. Derek doesn't really have the same feel as Eddie, but he's damn close. He's really close.
But he's got the
I've
whole.
done it correct, but I'm more wrong.
I actually saw and met Derek Fuller when they played when I worked at House of Blues. I saw them right when the guy that's the Michael Anthony, when he joined the band. I saw him like on the second gig they ever did, and but yeah. Derek is one of the guys that I've never actually seen come in on time on Hot for Teacher, but which isn't to say that he's not great. But I've never seen him pull that off yet.
I'll tell you guys. You guys want to hear a real funny tribute story, real fast?
Yeah, of course.
I replaced. There's about 3 or 4 guitar players in the 5150 band back in the day, and we played the New York State Fair. This would be back around 98, 99, somewhere around that, and it was my first big gig with the band. And I'd replace a guitar player. It's almost like, Yngwie Malmsteen and Steve Vai, back in Alcatraz days, right? They're coming to see Yngwie, and then there's Steve Vai. So I'm the new Eddie in this band, and I remember walking up to the stage. We'd start with the 1984 sample come in, and my fingers were like this on the strings, and I'm like trying to, because I'm the new guy, and it was just the biggest gig I've ever seen with people everywhere, and had to slap my hands to calm down before I could even play my first note of guitar. That was the scariest moment of my entire life.
Wow. Eric, were you you said a few minutes ago, I might have missed it when you said it, and I just caught it maybe 15 minutes ago. It was like a half hour ago. You were talking about that tribute CD. You were not the guitar player then?
No, that guitar player on that CD should be Scott Zarek. Scotty is, some of you may know him, he's like a GIT graduate, and he's an instructor, and now he has his own camp for music instruction. Phenomenal guy. Was a good friend of mine. He's probably still a friend of mine.
Were you before or after him?
I was after him. I think he came back, and then there was another guy, Randy Hicks, that came in for a while too. He had actually, you look at that Eddie statue behind you. He had the exact look of that era. So I came in. I think I might have been the second guitar player in that band.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Best experience in my life, though, for teaching me about the business. That's where, you guys know about everything I try to do for image and things like that. I learned from that band. I used to come to gigs carrying a milk crate with my cables in a milk crate, and remember the singer saying to me, dude, you show up again with a milk crate and you're fired. Like it's image, right? And yeah, it changed overnight. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, put your cables in your gig bag, man. Hey, Alan, is that a mid-'60s Telecaster? What is that?
I wish it was. I was playing this on the hangout me and Johnny did about Andy Summers. I got this in 1988. It's slapped together. My main guitar technician, almost all my life, had 2 guitars, and I really wanted to get a guitar that was similar to what Steve Cropper used a lot in the 60s with Sam and Dave and Otis Redding, and this was an American Telly body that had a maple neck, And then this is a Esquire, a rosewood board Esquire neck from a Japanese Fender from the 80s.
Right.
Nice.
And he let me swap necks and just buy the guitar as is, and I think I paid $450 for it back in '88. And this is my second main axe, along with my 68 Strat is the one that I play all the time and played all the time when I was a kid. But this is my second guitar to the Strat.
Nice.
So, while we're on the subject of Telecasters,
Nice.
Oh man, nice, nice.
yeah. Now this guitar is a brand new guitar. This is a custom shop relic guitar. It's a ultra aged guitar. It's also the body and neck are both roasted.
Nice.
So
You know I'm all about that.
Yes. What's that?
You know I'm all about the roasting.
You're all about that, you said?
Yes.
Oh yeah. It's.
I love
Hey,
it.
did you have that guitar when I was there? Was that? Did you have that one? Okay,
Yeah,
I played that one. I played that. That was a beautifully playing guitar.
This guitar is 6 pounds. I did put steel saddles on it because I like the way the sound comes off the steel better than the brass. And I have a Callahan bridge plate.
Nice.
And the biggest frets you can absolutely get. And in this
Those are
guitar,
huge.
this neck,
You can see him.
it's humongous.
Yeah, see here I have
This neck
brass
is so
ones on
big.
mine, and I don't like them as much. I was thinking about getting titanium or steel.
Do the steel. Get the whole Callahan bridge.
Yeah, I was
Callahan-
looking at those today. I was actually just looking at those today. Yeah.
Yeah. Because these bridge saddles are compensated.
Yeah, and I want to get compensated ones too. It's funny you read my mind because I was literally looking at that stuff today. Yeah.
So yeah, here's the back. And I own several tellies, but this one is my favorite.
I showed you my B-bender telly, right?
No, you didn't.
Oh, well that's coming out.
You showed us your legs.
Thank you. Got a big bruise on it where my daughter kicked me in the thigh.
Well, I thought you had a skirt
let's
on.
see Let's see Alan Garber's relicing on himself.
I was hoping that, I was really, thanking God that, oh wow, that looks like Jimmy Page's guitar.
Yeah. You got it, brother.
Oh,
This is a
man, that looks
1977.
just like Jimmy Page's guitar. That's amazing.
It looks more so in the light. This is actually a 1977 telly. Jimmy's has a custom, very dark brown paint job, and the standard Fender chocolate brown is really more of a chocolate brown. Jimmy's guitar is so brown it's almost black.
Yeah.
But I did actually get the B-bender installed by Gene Parsons.
Oh, how cool is that?
And of course, I've got an acrylic
That's
cover
awesome.
on it, so you can see the mechanism. I've got an acrylic cover on it.
Sure. That's the way
And,
you want to do it. You don't let that metal cover that's on it, it makes it a million pounds.
Exactly, and the mechanism
nice
is
to see
really
it,
so beautiful that you want to see it, really.
Of course.
Yeah. Good job, man. That's a great guitar. All right, you win the telly competition.
Well, as you guys know,
I got no
I'm
Telecaster.
into Led Zeppelin, so I mean, I've got a whole ton of Led Zeppelin guitars that I haven't even talked about. So.
Well, another night.
Yeah. Another night where no one will come in like
I mean, another morning for me.
Yeah, I know, right?
When Alan calls me up, it's like 9 in the morning my time. I basically roll out of bed to talk to Alan.
It's terrible. And he rolls out of bed.
Johnny cringes when he gets that call.
Although the last one we did was great, the Andy Summers police one.
Oh, I had a great time.
That was. I think you and I just need to do a police show.
That'd be good. A lot of people watch that.
Yeah.
That's like
yeah.
me trying to get. That's like me trying to get hold of Charlie and Gerd over there between England and Germany. It's we're talking, and Mully, as we know, Johnny. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Mully actually says hello, everybody. He was
Hey,
watching
Mully!
earlier.
Hey, Mully.
These time zones, nuts.
Yeah, usually Mully rings me up about midnight my time and says, "Hey Johnny, you want to jump on?"
We just need to suspend an animation, catch everybody up to the same time zone.
That's Alan. Great guitar, buddy. Don't close that case. Don't close that case and be sitting like that.
Oh, well, no, just don't say anything. Oh no!
Okay.
Quick, have the camera on me. So
Oh God.
if I make
Nice
enough noise,
legs.
it'll stay on top of me.
Nice legs.
I told you, every guy you see playing guitar on YouTube is wearing shorts. Everyone.
Not me.
Oh, yeah.
9 times out of 10. Yeah, see, look at that.
Nesdal's the only one.
I'm not wearing any pants.
I bet you guys are all wearing shorts, right?
Well, wasn't today Nude Day or something like that?
Dave, easy, man. You're going to
Okay.
get me excited here. Stop talking like that, man.
Stop it.
It's PG. It's all PG.
Now, do you have that
Good.
thing? Do you have that thing tuned to DADGAD already?
Of course.
Agdad.
Is it an original one or is that a reissue?
This is a reissue. Of course, I don't have an original one. This is one of the the very first run of the '90s reissues.
I remember those.
The only thing you need to do to that guitar right now is put a set of Grovers on it.
Well, what I did was,
and you'll have Jimmy's guitar.
I had
well,
one
I
of those.
changed it.
I had an
I
original
changed
one.
it.
I had a real one.
Yeah, those are nice. Those are very hard to come by. I did do some mods to this one. What I did was, instead of using Grovers, Jimmy kept the original tuners on it for, I think, up until the firm. So actually, you'll see that. You'll see the white buttons of the original tuners on it. I put some ping.
No kidding.
Yeah, I put some ping metal tuners on it, which are cheap.
That's cool. They work.
Yeah, I got them from StewMac.
Oh wait, are those split post? Are they split post like Stratocaster ones?
Yes.
Like Fender ones? Are they split
Yes.
post? Those
Yes.
are the best. Those are the best tuning pegs on the planet.
So yeah, this is the first run of the reissues, and they have the correct headstock shape. Later on, they changed the headstock shape a little bit. I put a Graphtec nut, which is really hard to do because the nut is very tall. But I actually had to take a Graphtec bridge to get the right height, and my tech kind of fit it in there. It was kind of difficult, but it's just a black Graphtec nut because I had the original steel nut, which sounded cool, or aluminum. It was actually aluminum nut. It sounded cool, but it would, the strings would get caught up in it, and it would make this pinging noise, and it wasn't staying in tune very good. So I got the Graphtec nut put on. I put a Quan Badass bridge to replace the original one. Jimmy also did that later on. A little bit later on, he kept the original bridge on the guitar, I think, through most of Zeppelin. A lot of the stuff that Jimmy did to his guitars happened during the firm. Like, I really don't think that the #1 Les Paul had the wiring harness and stuff until the firm. I know the '2 had it later, but a lot of people think that he had that wiring during Led Zeppelin, but I don't hear it. I don't think so. I think he did it around 1983, 1984 during the firm.
Yep, I agree.
But yeah,
any single coil sound he had in Led Zeppelin was either a Strat or a Tele, or that guitar right there.
Yeah. Of course, this was on In My Time of Dying, and of course all the live versions of White Summer, Black Mountainside, and of course Kashmir. And I believe that's about it. And he also played. He played When the Levee Breaks on this. The few times that they played When the Levee Breaks live, he also played it on this guitar.
Really?
Didn't they do that at Nebworth as well?
He used this guitar at Nebworth for White Summer and Kashmir. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Don't read Kashmir. Don't read it.
Me, Kashmir is the Unchained of Van Halen to me. Like I'm a closet Led Zeppelin fan, but Kashmir to me is as important to me as Unchained is from Van Halen. Just significant to me.
And there you go. We're back.
Yeah. Clearly one of the songs. It's Robert Plant's favorite Led Zeppelin song, so if Robert says it's his favorite, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just something with that song, the way it cycles. It's escalating. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hey, Rob.
Just like Unchained.
Yeah.
Rob here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Rob, did you see that question from Paul? Is it Rodden?
Rodin.
Rodden?
Every time.
Rodin.
Every time.
You see that question he's asking?
No. What is it?
Oh, he's asking if you. I think he thinks you made that guitar. He's asking how you do the block inlays.
The block inlays.
Purchase them from EVH and the guitar.
He's probably talking about the one that I did before.
Stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not on the one that I just did, but the old one I did last year. Those are Japanese block inlay stickers. $15 on eBay, and they work great. And they're easy to apply, and they stay on fantastic, and they look fantastic. And that's about it. They're really that simple.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about niche guitars. I got this giant thing in my lap. I know I've shared this on here a couple months ago, but it was only David and Rob. Not Rob, Johnny, sorry. It started
Johnny
as
Johnson?
it started as the how can I describe this? Eddie never
Look at those
played this,
legs.
but the company behind it, Music Man, figured there would be a market for it, so they started making them look like the Axis model. So
Oh yeah, I remember that.
yeah, and to get the full thing, the double neck with the 12 string on top and the 6 string on the bottom. To me,
Yeah.
it looks more like
Yeah.
a Wolfgang double neck than it does an Axis or an EVH double
Yeah.
neck.
A buddy of mine has that exact same guitar, exact same one.
Oh, it's great.
The closest you'll get to the
love it.
Eddie unlawful spanked man on a mission guitars.
Mhm.
Oh, Rob, someday I'm gonna
Well,
have a
no,
custom
it's
one
not.
made like that.
You
I'll
gotta
have a
see
custom
Scott
one
Smith's
made.
guitar. Scott Smith has the real one.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm gonna
yeah,
get one of those
custom
one
made.
day.
Those are the closest you're gonna get to a store bought
Yeah,
custom
from the
made.
store bought. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that.
My band is gonna play that song, and I want to have one of those guitars.
Except you need
But
a
until then, I'll just use the
baritone.
octave.
You need a baritone guitar neck for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one. I'm gonna have a replica made. I don't
Mhm.
care
Hey, that
how.
being said, you and I need to
silly
talk
it is.
to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
I don't care how silly it is. I'm gonna have one made and use it for one song.
Listen, if you can do it, do it. I don't play all these guitars. They hang up on my wall, and I take it down and go, ooh, oh, look what I got.
Hey, Dave. That being said, speaking of those double necks, you and I should talk offline sometime soon on the status of those.
They're ready to go when we're ready to pay for them, as far as Unker says.
That's probably gonna be my next project.
I have three guitars that I'm doing now. It's not going to happen until after the first of the year. I just can't do it.
That's fine with me, because I'll be
Kramer double necks.
in a better position financially at that time.
Yeah.
What double necks are you guys doing?
What? Oh, the 82, the
Okay,
black
yeah.
and yellow.
Black
Kramer.
and yellow. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, listen, we've been doing this for 2 hours. Johnny, do we have any more comments or questions before we call it? Because it's getting a little late, and we
saw
should probably
one
start
very-
thinking about.
I
Yes.
saw one interesting question that I think we can get out quickly.
I'm
They
still.
were just trying to get like opinions on just, and they said basically apocalypse scenario. You can take 2 guitars and 1 amp with you and have that. The rest of you have to sell to survive. What do you keep? And that's what they want.
For me,
2 guitars, 1
my
amp.
Les Paul and my white Wolfgang.
What
Yeah.
about amplifier?
For me, my white new 2015 Relic, my 5150, and a PV 5150 combo.
What amp,
I'm gonna
David?
say-
What amp would you take, David? Yes, Don.
Oh, my amp? The
what
amp
amp?
that as long as it's got a clean format, I'll use whatever pedal board I have. If I'm allowed
Yeah,
to
you
take
could
a
have
pedal
said
board.
65 Super Reverb.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
but
go
still,
something
that's-
simple.
Someone else has to carry that for me.
I'm taking the
I'll take
Microsack.
that.
I'm gonna be the only guy with the
I'll take
battery. I'm taking the micro stack. I'm the only guy with a battery amp.
The micro stack.
hey, you guys should have plugged your amps in. Go for it. We got no power. I'm
Eric,
taking the micro stack.
Don't forget the headband too, Eric. Though. You gotta
yes,
have
okay.
it.
I'm going over to Eric's house.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't have it yet, but I think I'll probably take the Stealth half stack. I mean, other than that, I have the Mustang modeling amp, which is just more broad, but I probably would have more fun with that Stealth.
Mhm.
And probably
Yeah.
my Cherry
Cool.
and my Stealth Wolfgangs. Those are my two main axes right now.
Nice.
Good question.
Yeah.
Alan,
How about
I'm
you,
really
Eric?
curious what you're going to have to say. What would
How about you,
keep?
Eric?
Me for guitars? Well,
Yeah.
I amplifier for sure. I'm not kidding. I would take the micro stack because I've got lots of 9-volt batteries. Guitars. I'm actually holding the Stripe series right now. So obviously, I'm going to have guitars that can be different than you guys as far as like the classics, Les Pauls, and things like that. I would take the Stripe series, and it'd either be my standard back there, the purple standard, or maybe my PV, my 96 PV patent pending back there that I had earlier because it's a really good playing guitar too. Probably the Stripe and the PV and the micro stack.
And a bunch of 9-volt batteries.
Yes. Yep.
In the head.
Well,
Don't forget the head, bro. How about you, Johnny?
What?
How about you?
And Starbucks.
What was the question?
huh?
Yeah, is there a Starbucks there?
Apocalypse, 2 guitars, one
I'll
amp.
take 2 of these. Huh? So what?
So you have to sell
apocalypse
all your
scenario,
gear.
you could take
except
only
for
2 guitars and 1 amp. What would it be?
Guitars that I already have?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is almost like me actually going to Mexico. It's what this would be like. Yeah, we toured this band I was in. We did this tour and we played a date down in Mexico, and I didn't want to take my main guitar with me.
No.
I was actually afraid. I was afraid to go actually. We were actually very lucky to
So answer the question.
come back. Well, but in this case, I would take my main. I would take my Fender Telecaster. What is it? It's a 9672 custom reissue. You know, that's like my main guitar, pretty much live all the time. And then what? And then another guitar.
Yeah.
It would have to be something I couldn't replace, and so I would take my Ripley.
Cool.
So my Tele, my Ripley, and then an amp. I guess my my PV 5150 half stack.
Cool.
I'm wondering if we left a child behind, could we take a third guitar? Because I have one other guitar I like a lot. Just
You're the
kidding. I'm
man.
just kidding. I love my boy. I'm kidding.
He's gonna see this someday.
Yeah, he's hearing it probably right now. He's probably sitting up there. He's probably commenting hate right now.
He's probably watching.
I'm sure he is.
Not gonna listen to Van
There's
Halen.
40 people looking at us. He's probably one of them.
I'm kidding. I love my boy.
I would take my, obviously, I'd take my 65 Super Reverb. It's a toss-up because I really like my Roxton Marshall right there. That's a really great amp. But yeah, my 65 Super Reverb, my 68 Strat, and probably my Harmony H1260 acoustic.
Nice. Acoustic is nice to have. Sure, no one said acoustic yet. That's nice. Campfire, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
I hate acoustic guitars. Can't stand them. Can't stand them.
I can take them or leave them.
Dave, I'm surprised you didn't catch me on this deal. I was waiting for you to. I intentionally left out one guitar to see if you would catch it.
I didn't hear what you
Oh,
said. You said that this.
I said my.
Oh, the Steinberger. You didn't want to take the Steinberger with you?
Yes.
Yes, this.
Someone
this
needs a paddle. Someone needs a paddle.
This would have to be one of the guitars I would take. The Steinberger GL2T Transcom. Would have-
Steinberger and the Relic. There you go.
Yeah. This one in the Relic. And the 5150 would be close by, but it would have to be the Steinberger.
Don't ever get rid of that thing.
I got rid of it once, and I was lucky to get back.
Yeah.
It was.
Came
That's
full
probably
circle.
not going to happen again.
No, I don't think
No.
I get lucky again like that.
2 strikes, not 3.
What? all the other guitars go.
All right.
That's something you have.
It's all good, man.
That's.
Yep.
If Hydra wasn't the option, I would have taken. If I said because of the apocalypse we were having using battery amps, but I would take my lunchbox. I did a video the other day and I said, or a comment to somebody. I said if I could describe that amplifier in one word, mids. So I'd take that amp in a heartbeat if I had Hydro.
Mid-size?
No, mid-size, yeah, but the mids. It's just I forget who the guy was who commented said mids to the guitar are our guitar's filet mignon. I forget his name, but I love that quote. Mids to guitar are the filet mignon.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
I know him.
I agree
filet
with you.
mignon.
Who said that?
Filet mignon? He said that?
Yeah. Yeah, someone said that, I forget. But there you
No,
go.
it's true though. The guitar is a mid-range instrument, and that's where all the good tones live. Really, for me.
Yeah, that's a good neighborhood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to live in the mid neighborhood.
Yes, you do.
All right, I hate to break this up, but we gotta blow.
Yes.
Yeah, and I gotta go too. Yeah.
I live in the forest.
It's time.
Johnny, it's okay. We kept this to about an hour, like you said, right?
2 hours.
It was
All
exactly.
right, come on, Chris.
2 hours.
The post show is going to be another hour, so let's go. Say goodbye.
I know. Well, I figure Friday. Friday could be a little later. You know, although we're gonna try to get these things down to an hour. You know.
We'll be there.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Johnny, maybe every other week we can do something like this and have a whole bunch of people in here. Because I feel like that's fun. As long as people are enjoying this, of course. Not an often thing, but every now and then.
Well, if you're trying to keep it to an hour, you're going to have to exclude me from every one of them.
You almost need someone cutting in, okay? You've got 5 more minutes with Mr.
He
Bean.
needs that
we have to
long
hang
to
up
say
now.
hello to people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I got to go,
Goodbyes
guys.
usually
Go.
take a while.
It's all good. All right. See you, Alan.
All right, you guys take
Alan,
care.
take
Cheers,
care.
Alan.
Thanks
Nice
for
to hang
joining
out
us.
with you.
All
Have a
right.
good night, Alan.
Cheers. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you
Cheers,
soon.
man.
Later, Alan.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you too. Nice leg. Oh, there he goes.
Good night,
That was
John.
awesome.
Good night, Billy Bob.
Jim Bob.
Jim
Yeah.
Bob.
Good Bob. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, and then real quick, yeah, Chris Hubbard, he apologizes because his phone died.
That's cool.
So that's why he just
No worries,
vanished.
Chris.
He said it made it look like that he was still here, but he wasn't. But he says it was great hanging out with us. Eduardo sent me a message question. Oh, it's for Dave.
Yeah.
I think we should probably save this. I'll send it to you, and maybe you can answer this on your own, or you should. I've been telling you to make videos, man. Make a video talking about this on your channel.
Save them for sure.
Okay.
That's what you should
Tell
do.
me what it is, and I'll make a video.
Okay. Yeah, because you'll actually get some hits if you answer this. So, I'll message this to you, so you can do this.
Okay.
Okay. So there's that and that, and everybody who was watching this tonight, thank you guys. Yes.
Thank you very much.
802 Blues. Thank you everybody for watching. Sorry we didn't get to everybody's questions, but we can get to them next time. Or if any of you guys who have YouTube accounts, if you want to dig into the comments after this, you can answer them yourselves. Just type them. You know, any of you guys.
We could learn some stuff too from you
Will
guys.
do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yes. So okay. Thank you everybody for watching. Who has a channel on here? I guess maybe you all do. You're here. What are your channels? Dave Lucy, what's your channel?
Don't have a channel. I mean, it's just Diamond Dave Lucy right now, so nothing on there yet. Will be soon.
Cool.
Okay. Nesdal.
4.
What?
Channel 4. Just
Channel
kidding.
4. Maybe KBD.
It's David Nesdal. David Nesdal on YouTube. Just click on it,
Instead of-
subscribe on it, and I'll start doing videos again.
Instead of going to my channel, go to Eric's channel. He's got this figured out.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and as far as Eduardo, as far as your question, yeah, go to Nesdal's channel and you can find a video talking about that. Probably. And then who was Broadbent? I couldn't think of your name.
Yeah, what you know, the Canadian.
I couldn't
Eric
think of your
Broadbent Solo. Just look up Eric Broadbent Solo, or you can go to ericbroadbent.com.
Cool. And then who's the other guy? Rob.
If you get on mine, just 5150 Rob, and you'll see my channel.
Yeah.
Where did you come up with that name?
It was a tough one, I'll tell you. It took me a long time to figure that. My channel guitar stuff and firearm stuff. So
I saw someone post in one of the Van Halen groups the other day. It was a woman and said, "What is this 5150? I'm seeing it pop up all over the place." I left it alone. I just walked away.
Left it alone.
Mm-hmm. Yep, smile and wave.
Just a couple of random numbers. And nothing major.
Yeah. Zip code.
Just to show we got a new album out. As Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You actually see that all the time out here.
I bet.
Because it's California. You see 5150 everywhere. You see the what was the other one?
918V.
918V. You see, yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And we all get giddy when we see it, right?
Yeah, we're all like excited. You know?
Oh
yeah,
man!
did you see that?
Every other day, I see the Western Exterminator trucks driving past
you've been posting some of that stuff
with what people call the hammer guy, on the back.
Yep.
It's an actual. I mean, his logos are on the trucks itself, but some of the trucks actually have like a statue on the
3D.
back.
Yeah, the 3D characters.
Statue,
yeah.
You know.
And some of them actually hammer. They actually do the mechanical thing like this. I've seen that. Yeah. That's neat.
Yes. And Alan, no, I didn't. Huh? Did you try? No, I didn't. Not yet. He's messaging. Bronson. Hey, Bronson, you watching this? Yo, Bronson Gordon. Check out Bronson's channel. Bronson has a channel. He's making videos.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bronson Gordon. He's
Cool
doing
dude.
his thing. He's doing his thing.
Very cool, dude.
Cool. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for watching this stuff. And
Thank you.
like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to everybody's channels. Like their stuff. Whether you like it or not, just like it.
Drive-bys. There's a word for the day.
Drive by, like, and
Yeah, be careful with the drive-bys. Be careful with the drive-bys. They will bite you.
Personal joke, everybody. Drive-bys.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, when you're scrolling on your phone and you see a cool picture of something, make sure you read what the text says before you like it and keep moving on, because you never know.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, keep rocking and rolling, everybody. Johnny Bean, Facebook, guitarist Johnny Bean. Go like that page. I guarantee you will. So, okay, keep rocking, everybody, and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys Monday.
or
We'll do
only if
something
you're watching.
Woohoo! Yay! Monday!
All right. Bye.
Dave, you okay there, Dave?